Hello everyone and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Tonight we've got another match of the Link to the Past randomizer Crosskeys Tournament 2024. We have ourselves a 3-0 match here between Telethar and Specks. I'm starting with me on comms today is Koi. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderfully. I love Rando. I really do. And these are two really great players that I cannot wait to watch.
Yeah, this should be a really fun match. Both have run around a little bit. I think Telethar a little longer than Specks, so this should be a fun one to watch. Both are undefeated so far in this list, so, but that is going to change tonight.
Sadly.
It says the nature of the tournament. You want to explain if anyone in chat, for anyone in chat who hasn't seen this yet, what is Crosskeys?
Crosskeys is just like normal Rando, but really different. Was that enough? You need more? So in normal randomizer, we just shuffle the items around. In Crosskeys, the cross stands for cross-rolled entrance rando. So now entrances are also randomized, so we can walk into this house over here, and it's actually that dungeon over there. And keys is key sanity, so the keys, small keys, big keys, maps, and compasses are also shuffled. So cross keys.
Yep. So this is one of the more complex votes that's regularly raced for ALttPR. There's a lot more to keep track of with the entrances and the keys. So this should be fun to watch to see how it goes.
Pretty much you go to places until you know what you need, and then you go to the places that those things are, and then you kill Ganon.
Basically.
Hey, I'm 3-0 too, so I must know what I'm talking about.
Okay, fair point. I, on the other hand, I'm not a competitive ALttPR player in the slightest. But we're about to get going here. Link's house is always vanilla. The sanctuary is going to be randomized to one of a couple of places, but that's not the worst thing to find early.
Both runners opting for a sanctuary start. You could also have started at Link's house. Very nice sanctuary location here in Kakariko. Always very happy to see that it's not on the pyramid.
Very nice indeed. Got Hype Cave and Cac on the bottom side of Spec Rot.
Yeah, a little early for that though. We have not had a chance to find any resources.
Got a map in Spec Rock on the left side of Desert. Cac is always chaos in Crosskeys because there's so many entrances and items to check. Smith's also in Cac.
Maps are definitely worth picking up when it's not too out of the way. We will want to know which dungeons have the pendants and crystals eventually, but Specky probably not that happy to walk all that way just for a map.
Probably not. Oh,
Telethar finds the back of Super Bunny Cave. This is the preferred entrance to Super Bunny.
Yep, got two quick items here. Red Boomerang and a heart piece. Upgrade failure for Specks.
It's almost a weapon, but not at all.
Not quite. So
you could kill birds with it and Stalfos Knights. That's about it.
That's also useful for stunning things. Uncle at the magic bat here. The drop-downs, 7 drop-downs, Ganon, Sanctuary, Uncle, Useless Fairy, Lumberjack, Lost Woods, Magic Bat, and the Well are shuffled just amongst each other. So Sank was at the Well, here is Uncle at the Magic Bat, and we're about to see another drop-down for Telethar, which is...
Useless Fairy, yeah. And he did check the stun prize, which was red rupees. Pretty nice stun prize if we end up needing that.
Yep.
But there we go, found some bombs.
And Graveyard Ledge is more bombs for Specks.
Our first key, what's it for? Ice Palace. That is marginally useful, but not really.
Got a connector here at the top of the Lost Woods, the Quarreling Brothers connector.
Yeah, Telethar not that interested in checking connectors right now because we're so early. The odds that this connector just spits you out at the Dark World is really high, so it's just not worth going through because we have so many Light World entrants available. Why do we want to bunny walk places? Oh, that is Ganon behind the Lumberjack, though.
We're gonna have to do back and one for that today. And Hero Castle left.
Does he go back for that connector? Yeah, he's going back for race game here.
Speaking of Ganon's location. There's our first castle tower key. We will need both.
And Specks finds the Elder House, another connector, very quick connector.
Yep. That desert left is where that dumps him, and Checkerboard Cave on the other.
And our two ships passing in the night by completely different routes.
Yep.
That is so weird.
It is pretty funny.
Like they entered that entrance simultaneously after getting there from completely different routes.
Yep. Fairy Ascension Cave for Telethar. He does take that connector. Specks choosing to go check this one, which is Laser Bridge.
Laser Bridge is a little awkward to do when you have nothing. But there are tricks like that to get past this laser. Oh, Telethar on the top of Hyrule Castle. He comes out the middle entrance, which is very helpful. Because if he had come out one of the other ones, he would not be able to open that middle one.
Yep. Small keys to TR and Pod and $300. Telethar just found GT.
So Spec's doing a really neat little trick there to skip the laser. The timing works out perfectly if you turn into the laser and then you do like a tiny little stutter step as you walk across.
Yep. Got a key on the GT torch. We're going to be back to that later. We're going to see backup escape real quick for Specks.
Yeah, no reason really to put this off. Just as soon as you save and quit with bombs in hand.
Nope. Small key to Skull Woods and map to Ice Palace. Okay. And hey, Paradox Cave.
Paradox Cave, definitely not something we hate to find, but we are a little light on equipment for doing this.
Yeah.
He could spend a bomb to buy
more
more bombs, but that's kind of a big investment. The bee could be helpful, though.
Could, yeah. First bottle there.
Because he needs one bomb to leave to go to one of the other entrances. So he doesn't want to use them all killing these mini moldarms. But we find some bombs anyway. We're fine. Desert Small's great. Thanks, bee friend.
Yeah, Moon Pearl.
Yeah, Moon Pearl, definitely the best thing we could find at this stage of the game. That's the item that unlocks the most new things. All right, so we can make that bomb jump, and now we have to get past these too many moldarms with 1 heart. Oh, it's not going that great, though. Yep.
Ooh, yep. Yeah.
Maybe.
That did not work.
Mini moldarm says no.
Yeah, if that happens sometimes. Sex on the other side found the lumberjack drop down at the uncle, so he's going to go pick up a small key here.
It's really unfortunate because, like we were saying earlier, like connectors aren't like the biggest thing we want to do right now. But now that we have a Moon Pearl, they are. Yep. Suddenly, connectors are king.
Arrow small as well. We're getting all the random small keys.
Nice rod.
Yeah, Ice Rod. Not required unless you need to try next, but Ice Rod hunts suck just as much in Crosskeys as they do in any other mode. Heart piece off the bottle vendor. Okay.
Well, shuffling keys and entrances with items means that we just have more things that serve the function of the Ice Rod.
Also true. In this case, that second Castle Tower key could really be
That's what I was thinking as well. But it could be any big key or even an entrance.
Yep. Fire shed here in the Cack Bomb Hut.
More things to look for means more things to last locate.
Pretty much.
7-minute Link's House check. Typical.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Especially when you get started in CAC. There's so much stuff to do in CAC. There's something like 15 entrances in CAC in the immediate vicinity.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
I am not actually counting. That's just me making an approximate guess.
I don't know. It's probably less, but it's more than everywhere else. That's the important thing.
Yep. Front of TR here as well. And I was including in the CAC area these couple entrances just south of here as well.
Oh yeah, it's essentially CAC. Kingstone
here. small key to Meyer. We've got a lot of small keys already.
Yeah, and they're all terrible.
They are. We've got the desert
No,
small,
yeah, okay.
the Harris small.
All right, so the desert small is all right. We don't mind the desert small, but the Harris small it leads to an item, but it's the worst item in the game. Pod smalls, there's like a million of them. One's not going to do you anything, and then Skull, Ice, and Mire are you don't really need them keys.
No.
I like they're fine, I guess, but we don't want them that much.
No. We did
Where's
see the back of Hookshot Cave for Specks there on Light World Archery game. Go ahead, sorry.
Telethar not going to climb up Spectral Rock Cave to find out what the item is.
Nope, it looks like interesting. Doesn't want to spend the time yet. We've got a small key on Race Game. One of the unfortunate things with Key Sanity and peaked items is you don't know what it is, and in rare cases you might be able to figure out what it is by process of elimination, but that's like something to come back for later with a mirror. Can't do anything in Hookshot Cave, but this is a connector for Specks, which drops us out at fountain game.
Yeah, unfortunately, not having found that Moon Pearl yet means we don't really want that connector.
No.
Telethar finding desert entrance, yeah, and we do have that desert small key.
Yep, we do. Use nice around here on some of the enemies. Specks.
Yeah, not gonna work on these guys though. Gonna have to use bombs.
Oh, blue mails.
Oh, nice RNG there. And Telethar intentionally walking into the Beamos there to set up a death warp.
Makes sense.
Don't cannonball me, bro.
Yes, Mike, that is the actual desert small. We found it in Paradox Cave, which is around.
Where was it? Do you know? I have no idea.
Paradox was top of Hyrule Castle.
Which he got to.
Telethar got there by taking a connector from Agina. Well, he took a connector from Cac to the left to the.
Oh, it was the Fairy Ascension
Checkerboard
connector.
Cave entrance, and then and then Fairy Ascension from Agina to the top of Hyrule Castle.
Oh, that's really rough because Specks found that connector and didn't go through it. So he has every reason in the world to not go back because he doesn't have the Moon Pearl.
No.
So I guess we're just gonna have to hope that he finds a Paradox Cave connector, but there's no guarantee of that being available.
No, we didn't see. Well, Telethar tried and failed to get through Paradox to check the top exit, so.
Yeah, so it could potentially just be over on like South Shore or East Light World, but it could also be on Dark Death Mountain. Who knows?
Yep. And we have no access, no mirror, no access to West Dark or East Dark World Brain. My sense of direction's terrible, and Brain doesn't work sometimes. Here's the Quarreling Brothers connector, which is going to dump Specks over at Checkerboard Cave. Speaking of how Telethar got there.
This is great for Specks because this is another opportunity to decide to go through Fairy Ascension, and he saved life. Never mind. I'm surprised he didn't go through it. You see what I mean? He wanted to go through that connector because it was the end of his route, and now the end of his route is right next to another connector. Why wouldn't you just go through that one? The same reason you went through the Quarreling Brothers.
Guess I wasn't thinking about it, perhaps. C-shaped house is Bumper Cave. Mom's respects. Brewery is useless. And Lake Island's yet another small key.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
There sure are, and most of our freestandings have been small keys so far. Another shot for Telethar. And our first look at this eastern area for Specks Brain.
Yeah, we're still hoping that he'll find that top of Paradox Cave connector.
Ooh, Castle Tower for Telethar in the chest game, and that's Swamp Palace there for Specks.
I'm not sure how many bombs it takes to kill those guards, but it's too many.
You wouldn't want to spend all my bombs on that yet. 4 bombs.
4 bombs? To kill all 4 guards or just the first 2? because you have to kill all 4 to get the item.
Yeah. Oh, cape for Specks. And there's pack of skill woods here for Telethar. The drops are just shuffled with each other in entrance rando here. For each, gotcha. Nothing in the skill woods big key chest. And got a cane of Burna there on the library.
Very unlikely we're ever going to pick that up.
Probably not.
Unless it's just hyper convenient. You happen to have the mirror and the boots and need the cane while you're at the pod entrance.
Yeah, especially because we just got the cape a second ago. Yeah, Light Flute 5 entrance here.
Alright, no help on East Light World for getting
Yep.
that Moon Pearl. Alright, so Specky's gonna start heading towards South Shore. We have more entrances here. They are in logic. But usually you put this off for a while, like we have, because we do not have a glove. And there are 2 glove-locked entrances that kind of get orphaned if you come here a little too soon.
Yeah. On the other hand, they've also cleared much of what is currently available to us without starting connector hunts. I'm trying to remember where Telthar's going and failing right this second. Chicken hut in the dam. I'm not sure Telethar checked South Cack, so that's what he's doing.
And Specky walking over to Mini Moldorf Cave, drops his bomb before the transition to save a little bit of time. And just a hint cave, no help.
Nope.
So he'll head over to the Ice Ride Cave area, affectionately referred to as the Light World Shopping Mall.
Yep.
But we'll only be able to do 2 of the 3 entrances here.
Unless there's a glove around here, yeah. And this is, as we mentioned, kind of annoying and you tried to put this off because this is a very, very isolated area to get back to.
Yeah,
Those
finding a
might be
glove
really
here would
hard.
be like really, really nice.
It would. I don't think Specks intended to chuck a bomb at the crab necessarily, but it worked out to avoid annoying him further. Nice Steve's Down location.
Yeah, front of Thieves Town does represent 4 more items. 20 Rupee Cave, moving 1 check over. That's normally underneath that rock.
Very funny game. There's a powder. Magic Bat being one of the drop downs we haven't found yet.
Is that behind Agate 2 then?
We're missing Lost Woods Magic Bat in the well between Useless Fairy, Sank, and Ganon. So, no, we don't know yet. There is guaranteed to be at least 1 check behind Agate.
Oh, nobody did the Hooligan start.
Nobody
Right.
did Hooligan start.
Yeah,
Both
like
Sank-
that's my preferred start. Is always get those checks right away.
Okay, here's Telethar taking the other connector he didn't take to get to the desert area. Big heated desert.
Desert
fun
Big Key?
game.
Alright. Not unhappy to see that.
And Ether of dubious use. You don't necessarily need to check the Mire and BTR and main entrances in Crosskeys if you happen to get a connector through them, or just because they're so late game, you don't end up needing to check them by the time you get access.
Is this Specky heading towards the Fairy Ascension Cave connector? Nope,
No.
never mind. He's
Doing
he's
the
fake
Hula
flipper.
Hand
So yeah, this is the start that I would normally do at the beginning of the game, is come down here and fake flipper to grab the potion shop and then the drop at Useless Fairy.
Also often chains into a Houlihan off the useless fairy drop to get some money.
Would not have been all that helpful in this particular sea because bombs were pretty plentiful early on.
Yep.
Telethar not wanting to go through Turtle Rock there. Specks is trying to set up a water walk here, or sorry, a fake flipper here. He has to get to the edge of the screen, jump in the water, and then it's a little awkward because you need to diagonal into the transition instead of holding left.
There we go. Yeah, that one's a little fiddly, but does get it after a couple tries. And there's the well at Useless Fairy. Okay, that's
good.
Not well at the pyramid, which is good, because that always kind of sucks. This is 5 quick checks. GT small. Keep Skull Woods, and
Why diagonal? I don't know. Link to the Past things. And there's our magic bat. We have powder, but no way to get to it.
Nope, we don't have a glove.
So what does that leave for Agatu?
Lost Woods drop down, 1 check.
Okay, so 1 item behind killing the other Aga.
Yep.
Specks walking up to, I think this is Hyrule Castle, where we can get some items. And
Hyrule Castle left is at the Lumberjack House, correct?
Yeah.
Because yeah, that was the next thing I was going to say, is we've checked basically all the... Oh yeah, he hasn't done the North of Cack area yet. I don't tell there was one who did that. And I was just thinking that we're starting to run a little low on... We've checked about all the entrances we can readily check without taking connectors. We have Hyrule Castle here, 2 connectors. We saw the front and left sides of Desert, haven't seen right side Desert. We didn't see the other connector entrances to Paradox. They could bomb drop across Speck Rock to check that connector, but nobody's bothered. I just missed what the Hyrule Castle main entrance was while I was saying
that. Was the bottom of the bottom of Death Mountain Ascension, the glove locked entrance that's nearby.
Funny game.
Yeah, I mean it's not very helpful to us, but it does clear that one off. We won't have to check it later. And it looks like the right side is how we get to the Dark World. Bunny walking, activate. Unfortunately.
Unfortunate. That said, that's vaguely funny how all 3 Hyrule Castle entrances are basically right next to each other.
Oh my god, I had a seed yesterday where all 4 Turtle Rock entrances were on Dark Death Mountain.
Yikes, yeah.
Sometimes the game has jokes.
I think I caught the Crosskeys seed like that recently, where it was like that except for those Desert Palace, and we couldn't figure out why we hadn't seen Desert, like any of the front of Desert for 2 hours, and it turned out all of those are on. I think that's like a TR Bridge, Floating Island, and like Desert Rite or something equally silly.
To answer chat, no, he did not do the checks inside Hyrule Castle.
Nope.
I'm not sure why not. He's plenty equipped for it. Like the Ice Rod will one-shot the blue guards, so you don't even have to spend all your bombs.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but it looks like both runners are back in Desert here.
Yeah, we'll see that third connector.
Big chest for both. I don't think either checked the map chest or the torch, which has just some arrows on it. And Specks will also do right side Desert here, I'd assume, since he hasn't done that yet. Also, yeah, we haven't seen the right side Desert connector.
The Moon Pearl we found in Paradox Cave, the only access to it was behind the Fairy Ascension Cave connector located at Agina's Cave. Telethar took that connector the first time he found it. Specks decided to put it off, and then later had another opportunity and put it off again. So going back through Fairy Ascension Cave, especially with it being so out of the way, all the way in the corner of the world, it's probably going to take Speck a while to get there.
Okay, floating out. Also, I forgot that Specks doesn't have the desert. Small, I mentioned that earlier because he hasn't been to Paradox, because that's where that was too.
Yeah, here Specs finds Pyramid Fairy, but is unable to do the checks. And Telethar can and finds a sword. It's a weapon, an actual real life weapon.
That's a really nice find for Telethar and a big ouch for Specks.
Well, he does know that there's 2 checks there, so whenever the Moon Pearl is found, that seems like a place you'd want to go back to. But he may put it off for a while, seeing as how he has a better Dark World access at the top of Bumper Cave. So
Yeah,
and without a glove, you can't do that other check. So even after he finds the Moon Pearl, he's probably not going to go straight back to that cave.
No. I mean, he has other things he can use that's not a sword, but that is an ouch. It looks like Telethar can actually go get the item from...
Yeah, look at the map here. I bet he takes the connector too.
I assume so. This isn't
now he could
bomb jump across, but it's a thing you can check.
Yeah, I think bomb jumping is a fair thing to do here for sure.
Lava chest for Specks is...
He didn't walk enough south though.
Nope, for Telethar. This side is logic. Let's see where this drops Telethar out to.
Well, I'm on board with him not going through Fairy Ascension the first time he found it, but the second time he was in that area, I feel like he should have just done it.
Yeah.
Because he went through a connector to get there, so he took that connector because it was at the end of his route, and then at the end of that connector, there's just another connector. Wouldn't you just keep going, right?
I would assume so too. I think it might have been just a forgotten.
Yeah, maybe he just reacted too quickly. Like it spits him out in the light world. Oh, I've already been here. Save and quit, and then realized, oh wait, there was another connector there. Definitely could happen.
Specks did just get a weapon of his own though. Got a bow there out of Chain Chomps and TR, which is nice.
Until Telethar comes back,
CAC, so it's a really easy save quit to come back for this.
Yeah, decides not to be slick this time and just waits to place the bomb until he lines it up. Oh, that's a great place to put him out at though, because it spits him out of the glove locked entrance, so he doesn't have to check that one. And the other 2 are super out of the way checks.
Oh, for sure, and he has bombs to check too. Or Moon Pearls to take. Great. And Dark Cave, yeah, you might as well take it. You're dead-ended here anyhow.
This is the back of Mountain Cave. You. I feel so bad for Specks because, like, why would you ever go back to Fairy Ascension until its last location?
I know. It's such a bad spot.
Mountain Caves at
front is King's Tube.
That's so annoying.
Okay, that's kind of a terrible save quit.
Like you never save and quit there until you have it. Oh, here it is. Specks is back. This is his 3rd time in the desert area, and this time we are taking the connector.
Oh, good. Phew.
He probably didn't have much else left.
I mean, there really isn't. It's true, Chad mentioning we haven't seen the other sides of Paradox, but I don't really think we have much in the way of entrances to check for the other side of Paradox, honestly.
Just bunny walking. Like he could always have like gone back to the Bumper Cave connector and entrance and like bunny walked to more stuff, potentially finding the Paradox Cave we missed.
I suppose, but yeah, there wasn't much. I can understand him not wanting to do that. He's also going to find GT up here.
All right, Telethar opting to spend his only TR key to check this check. Now, this check is locked behind 4 TR keys, but you just assume you're going to get them eventually.
Yeah,
he could have killed the Pokey, but with our current equipment set, it's really awkward and a bit dangerous to do so.
Yeah, Specks didn't bother either. Also used the key on the lava chest. Tier keys, logically you need all 4 to beat the dungeon. In practice and Crosskeys, especially if you find most of the entrances, you don't really need that many.
1.
We also know, courtesy
you
of
just
the
need
key
1
on Telethar's screen, that it's a pendant. Moon Pearl incoming shortly for Specks, and we'll see if he manages to take one of these Spec Rock connectors. Not Spec Rock, Paradox connectors.
Yeah. Well, he's a bit more equipped than Telethar was at the time, so I imagine he will.
Yeah, Telethar tried this on like 3 hearts green mail and Bob's, I think it was, which
Yeah, and he had 1 heart left when he tried to leave, and the mini Moldarms didn't want to let him leave. But that was before he had the ice rod, before he had the bow, so like he had very little to defend himself with.
We're gonna let our friend the bee take care of these
Which is
Moldarms
exactly
for
how
us.
Specks did this room. There's that desert small as well. Spec's actually going for the bottom exit instead of the top one. That is surprising because the bottom exit you can't get back without the mirror. I'm not sure why he would do that.
Yeah, not sure either. It is the bottom of East.
I guess he just
Mountain
didn't
here.
want to do the bomb jump, maybe?
Maybe. We do find Pod here and the witch just a second ago.
Yeah, that's a really unusual play. This, like, I'm sure he has a reason. I just don't know what it is.
That actually wasn't until the exit, as chat points out.
Yeah, because like it's not like you can just go back to Paradox real quick, right? Like he had to walk
No.
all the way to a connector to get to a connector to get to the Tower Higher Castle to find a connector.
It is slow, yeah. Crystal Pod, as we now know for Specs, we've got 2 keys and a bow. Can clear out a decent chunk of this.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, would have made more sense for Telethar to make this play with Paradox to go at the bottom because at the time he was on 1 heart.
You're not wrong.
Because because you're probably gonna die trying to get out the top with the mini Moldarms in the way. So like 1 connector is better than no connectors.
Yeah. Spec's gonna use his second key on the big key chest. I would have taken it to the back.
What? Why?
Your guess is
I mean,
as
you're
good
not
as
you're not
mine.
gonna hard reset. You just got the Moon Pearl.
No,
I
I'm
have
confused.
I have no idea why he would do that.
Uh,
Metaplay, yeah. Metaplay is the only reason I could think of, because sometimes if you do something that you know your opponent's not going to do, maybe it'll help.
I guess you could save the back until you get the big key, Tyler, but there's a lot of checks in the back.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the check that he spent that key on is locked behind finding, what, 5 more keys? Or 4 more keys.
4 more,
But
yeah.
the checks in the back are locked behind finding 1 more key.
Yeah.
Like, the vanilla big key chest may not be in logic even when we finish the game.
Yeah. Riggle's saying Specs has a tendency to go off rails when he's late. So I think it is possible. He knows the Moon Pearl is a bit late.
Yeah, the
Also
Moon
just
Pearl
missed what
was
he
pretty
picked
late.
up there on
It
the
was
right
near
side.
last location for him.
Yeah, what was the first chest on right side? I missed it.
I wasn't watching.
Me neither. Did get a shroom
I'm trusting
chest.
you to pay attention to what's happening in the game. I just say things.
Bombs, thanks, chat. Shroom there is kind of unfortunate because the witch is right next door.
Yeah, kind of annoying, but can't be helped.
Yeah, there's really
it feels a lot worse when like you find the mushroom and then you don't turn it in and then you find the potion shop, and you had the chance but you messed it up. We had no chance this time, so it's not your fault.
It's not your fault, but it still is a bit of a really game moment when you see that. Yeah, Glove is a big find though, respects that.
Yeah, Glove is huge.
This Telethar is currently someplace very different, having taken a floating island connector and has just found Ice Palace.
Yeah, no doing Ice Palace right now.
Nope, we have absolutely nothing for it. Specs going back to Hookshot Cave. This jumps him to the north of the village of Outcasts, so this is him going Dark World. You're not wrong over that. Telethar would have had that glove if he'd just gone through that entrance of Paradox Cave.
Sometimes the mini Moldorms are just really nice to you. There's nothing wrong with being an optimist. Are we coming back to Hyrule Castle finally?
Yes, for Telethar.
Because I don't think we've seen the items here. We've seen all the entrances, though, I believe.
We've seen the entrances. Nobody's checked the items. Meyer at Dark Sank.
It was a little surprising that Specks didn't do these items before. I thought he was fairly well equipped for it with the Ice Rod and 5 bombs.
Yeah,
but a sword is even better equipped.
Yeah.
If we use the Ice Rod anyway. As you see, blue guards are weak to blue weapons. Everybody knows that the Ice Rod one-shots blue guards for some reason.
ALttPR has some coding quirks, as every Zelda game does, really.
Right, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, the red rod will one-shot a red guard, the blue rod will one-shot a blue guard, and the green rod one-shots a green guard.
You had me at
3-0 too, okay? I probably know what I'm talking about.
I'm just chuckling. Sorry.
Do you think the green rod would be an earth element or like a poison element? That's how Sick Kid died.
Oh, the green element. Well, there's literally. Well, in Minish Cap, the green element is the wind element.
Oh,
there is a what is it called? There's a wind rod of some sort in Link Between Worlds that I'm currently forgetting the name of. Whoops.
All right, so Specs has found himself in Aga Tower, where we find a pod key, and we do have a key to go farther to the second chest, but no lamp.
Thank you for that chat. And it is kind of green in memory serves. Yeah, it makes sense for Specs to continue here. It's technically out of logic. Who cares about the lamp?
It's a tad awkward to do, but we made it to a compass and have to death warp. That's gross. Thankfully, the guard will help us.
At least he hasn't found an email yet for this, because that was Right Side Desert, and he hasn't been back with small.
Oh, that wouldn't hurt anything though. That does the same damage from the guard.
Alright, Telethar's gonna find his connector to Bumper Ledge. Rono's kind of tied up a little bit in terms of exploration, but each has a major item the other is short on. Specs has that glove, Telethar has that sword.
I think Telethar is probably also ahead on just entrances checked.
I think a little bit, yes. Spike Cave. Yeah, Telethar has checked more in the way of entrances. Yeah, think about it for a second.
And that was Pendant Meyer, we saw on Telethar's screen.
So it's 2 out of 3 pendants now, which is good info, because this is still a 7th Crystal Cannon. It's just that which 7 dungeons are the crystals, we don't know yet, until we find maps and or talk to the bomb shop in Saha. Or just good old process of elimination. Telethar's done part of South Dark World. I don't recall if he did the mini Moldorm Cave or Light Shopping Mall, but I know he did the Dam and Light Hype Cave.
Dark World.
I know Telethar did Dark Shopping. I'm not sure on Light Shopping. Up to Thieves Town for Specs.
We're back to Skull Woods. I think we were here before.
Yes, Telethar was here earlier. He's here to go check the big chest, I think, because we found the big key earlier.
Oh, I see.
It was in the well and just...
I'm looking forward to his third trip to check the firelocked entrance.
Oh, hey, Eastern in the
Crystal Eastern.
Full clearable. Not quite full clearable. We don't have a big key. We can clear a good chunk of it. So I have a left of the big keys in here.
This is an unfortunate place to be when you're so close to full clearing it, but not quite. But I've seen it in here before, the Eastern Big Key. It's happened before.
Yep. We'll see. It is 4 quick checks, though. And okay, apparently, okay. So Telethar did do light shopping while it was the scatter, right? Mega Tower for Telethar.
Specky going through Eastern. 2 checks down, 2 to go. I feel like we have a lot of game available. I'm surprised he's making the play to do Eastern right now. But
yeah,
like with our current equipment side, it's not quick to get back, right? Like we have to take connectors to get back here.
Yeah, this is a pretty long walk from the Village of Outcasts area, which is how we got here. Yeah, we do have a lot of the world open. We've got a lot of dungeons available. We've got a bunch of the overworld entrances left, too.
This was the swamp entrance, right?
This was the swamp entrance, yes. Bumper Cave Connector is new for Telethar here. And, well, speaking of West Death Mountain, access in the chat, there we go. Camera packs is just
finally the mountain.
We had the access to right side, but certainly not left side.
Quite a few entrances here.
Map to desert for Specks.
And if we find the old man, which looks like we just did, we'll be able to save and quit directly to King's Tomb at our leisure. Best seed ever. Where is the dark room? Do you remember? The other side of Mount Cave?
Dark shopping mall, glove locked.
Oh yeah, so it's even worse.
They're both pretty bad. I know Dark Shopping Mall Glove Lock was one side of Spec Rock, but yeah, Dark Shopping Mall is the other side of Old Man. Old Man himself, not very rewarding either, just 50 bucks.
Red Crystals, Palace of Darkness, and Thieves Town have the red crystals.
Smith's Bomb Shop. Why did I say Smith's? Right. We're gonna see our first look at East Dark World for Specks here.
We are.
Or not. Well, yeah, I guess we don't have
he could have a splash leaded. Like with the bow, it's really simple to set up a splash lead there. It's a little dangerous because of the enemies, but you don't. Oh, hammer though.
Oh, hammer for Telethar. Yeah.
No glove yet though, so the hammer's not even that great.
That's true. All right, Specks doing this again. Where's he going? Back of Skull Woods.
No fire source, so it'll just be 1 check here.
Yep.
Are we turning in our mushroom? Looks like it.
Oh yeah, it looks like it. And that's a shovel. Specks having better luck with that fake flipper this time. Specks is going to go back to check the magic bat over here as well. That's at Sank entrance. My notes to check what that was.
I'm sure it's something wonderful. Definitely not a piece of heart. Or 20 rupees.
Well, the answer is... heart container.
See, that's 4 times better than a piece of heart. Telethar he's had it.
Mountain.
Done with that place.
So back this way for him.
Oh, that's a nice place to find. Blind's hideout with 5 items locked behind that hammer from Chess Game.
Yep. Right side desert now for Specks. Small key to GT. That's our second. And our silver's key. Lovely. First.
There is our logical access to East Dark World. Although I guess I already had that with the hammer. But it also enables some flipper checks, Hobo and Waterfall Fairy, Zora.
Zora Ledge too.
Oh, Specs finally going to make it over to that sword.
That's good, remembering that he saw Pyramid Fairy earlier and couldn't get it.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, so it's like I said, right, where he put it off until he could get more value out of coming back here, because now we have the glove and can check this entrance that Telethar wasn't able to see. Which is going to be something totally amazing. Totally amazing.
Well, it is one check here at Akina. No mirror, sadly, for Telethar to turn in that shovel real quick, but does get big game. And
yeah. It would have been boots, but Late Bet jinxed it.
As Late Bet says in chat, it is the right color. I'm looking at our notes, and we've seen most of our dungeons at this point. We're missing the back of Desert and the back of Hera, and a big chest of TR, and that's it.
The what?
So for dungeons, we're missing, as speaking of Specs Find Dice Pals, we haven't seen the back of Desert, and we haven't seen the Hera, and we haven't seen the big chest of TR, and that's it for missing dungeons.
Alright, so Telethar about to find Eastern Palace as well. Let's see if he goes through it like Specs did before him. Probably not, especially because he does have that hammer enabling him to get to more entrances on East Dark World.
Where is... is Specs going for... Yeah, the glove-locked entrance by Desert.
We are going through Eastern as well.
Yep,
Do other people just go through Eastern? I would never go through Eastern here. I'm so surprised they both did it. I think it definitely made more sense for Specs to do this play, to go through Eastern at the time. But I mean, it's not crazy for Telethar, because like Specs before him, he doesn't have an easy way to get back here. The only difference is he has more things to do right now.
Yeah. Specs going back through Fairy Ascension Cave to get back to the top of Hyrule Castle.
The Paradox Connector.
Yeah, because nobody has checked the top of Paradox entrance, because Telethar died trying to get there and Specs took the other one.
Is this a feels bad moment if it's something good? Like, oh, I could have done this before.
Yeah, this is...
But I mean, going through the bottom is what got him the glove, so it's not that bad.
It's not going to feel as bad for Specs. This is going to feel terrible for Telethar, though, if it is something good. Well, it's something,
Must
I guess.
connect to the TR ledge. And nothing. Okay.
So not of immediate use, but if we find the mirror, that could be something of worth later. But this is going to be Specs going to head back down. Back into pod? Maybe he can go do the back he decided to not do earlier. This will drop him right.
He does have a
pod.
third key.
Yeah, exactly. And,
the
yeah,
potion shop, right.
Oh, I forgot. Right, yes, the witch. Because, right, Specks found the mushroom in pod, right next door to the witch that he couldn't check.
So the third key is the it's the big key for well, not the big key, but it's like the important key for pod, because the third key is the one that unlocks access to the back of the dungeon, which is where the bulk of the checks are. It's 3 to get to the back.
No, because you can use your first 3 on the central door, the big key chest, and going to Helma.
We don't have a big key.
Well, okay, I guess we don't have a big key. I hate the conditional key logic in ALttPR.
Turtles is 4 keys?
That's what I thought, yeah. Small keys. Speaking of keys, there's a logical fit.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it's 146. I haven't gone crazy yet. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm thinking of key sanity.
Use the key going to right side of Helma.
Yeah, it works differently in just open key sanity versus entrance rando. That's why I got confused. Because it's conditional when it's not entrance rando. It would depend on whether or not you have access to the bow and big key.
I just don't tend to try. I just hate trying to keep track of conditional key logic. Is that another sword for Telethar or no? Just gem. Model, thanks, chat.
Big key to Hera.
That was the pod big right there.
Hera's not a bad one to find though, especially since we don't have a hook shot. Unfortunately, we don't know where Hera is, right? Like, I can't even use this.
No. Watch Telethar find Hera in the next couple entrances.
It's not unlikely.
It isn't, honestly.
It's not like we have tons of game left to find it. We found looks like Death Mountain Descent, left side. Yeah, flipper checks need to happen sometime.
Yep.
So Telethar likely going to the pod entrance next.
So Specks is also going to check the Light World Shopping Mall glove locked entrance here, since he hasn't done that yet. Since his glove.
Yeah, we have not seen those.
No. And it is...
Yeah, Super Money, we already found the other side. Unfortunate.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the flipper lock checks from there, though.
Open sesame. Oil. Not helpful.
No.
A good V cave.
This is Specks going back through. This is Dark World access to the village.
What was the connector that took Telethar to the mountain?
Floating island you mean, or a different one?
No, to the Light Death Mountain.
Let me see if I can read my notes until I figure that out. C-shaped house led us to one of the West Death Mountain drop downs. I think that's how he got there, Koi. connected from C-shaped house. Yep, yeah, bumper cave at C-shaped house. That's what it
Oh, I
was.
see. There's
There's
a
our
fourth pod key.
logical pod 4 on Hobo. His flippers were in logic over at Blind's hut in the Hammer hut. This is a new entrance for us as well. On Telethar's side of the Lake Island here is Hera, speaking of things.
Tower of Hera. This is so typical. Specks finds the Hera big key. Telethar finds Hera. Why can't they just share information? We'd be done so much faster.
And that is our last pendant, as our tracker 8-bit points out. There's a book.
Aw, no Hera basement without fire.
No. It is full pendant crystal knowledge for Telethar, aside from we haven't found Saha, so don't know which one's our green pendant. Probably our TR Hera, not the worst pendants to have, I guess. Well, Hera's kind of annoying. Lamp!
And, oh, there's our lamp. Now we can do Hera basement, finally!
Just as we were talking about that.
What else does the lamp do for us?
That's Dark Cross in logic?
Have we done Dark Cross?
Nope. Not that I can remember. I don't think Telethar went for it, but check and confirm or deny if I've gone crazy on that. Realistically though,
Puts
yeah.
that,
too much besides that.
it would put that Death Mountain Descent connector that Telethar found in logic.
That's true. If we ever found the back of desert, it would put that in, but heating Landless in, but yeah, that doesn't do much otherwise.
Kill Mothula? That's true.
Yeah, kill Mothula, very out of logic with the bomb jump and missing one small key. Oh, Specks is taking that.
Would that stop you? I mean, we know it's a crystal.
True. Shovel is bottle 3 for Telethar.
Alright, so this means that Spec will be finding the hammer post-haste.
Yep. If we saw Bamboos on Desert Ledge, Dane, I forgot about it, I'll be honest. I don't remember anyone walking over to see Desert Ledge, because they both got connected over to the right side of the desert area.
Yeah, I don't believe either of them even looked at it.
Because they've seen connectors to the Agina and Checkerboard entrances. Neither went over to the left. Telethar might do so at some point if he actually might be going to do that right now, yeah.
Yeah, so with the book, he'll be able to open this entrance, so there's no reason not to take one step farther. But he doesn't do it anyway. Never mind. It would take like 1 second.
Our runners are continuously proving us wrong today, Clay.
I mean, it's not that important to see it, but like if it was something good, you kind of want to know.
And nope, is just gonna save it. Yeah, I'd agree though. I would have checked.
Did they scout like the race game item?
Specks did. It was a small key. I don't remember if Telethar did.
Because that's kind of like the same check, right? Like this is an item that I definitely cannot grab right now, and there's no foreseeable time when I will be able to grab it. But I still want to know what it is, because when I do have the ability to grab it, I want to know how much I should prioritize it.
Exactly. Telethar back here, but still not checking that.
Yeah, Telethar going back for the Paradox Cave connectors, it looks like.
Yep.
Potentially being able to get to Pod for the glove.
Mm-hmm.
But he hasn't done the top or the bottom, and just like the situation before, if you go out the top, you can always go back in. If you got the bottom, you're stuck. So it makes more sense for him to do the top first. And that is what he will do. Take revenge on those mini Moldorms.
Specks over here on this side of Death Mountain is gonna go clear up. Got to get his hammer here in the next couple entrances.
This is it right here.
So,
and thankfully, the top of Paradox Cave isn't a one-way connector, so he can go right back in and go out the bottom.
Yep.
Which takes us to the bottom right Light Death Mountain.
Yep.
Go to GT. That's definitely an option.
Yeah, an option. Not sure if it's a good one, but it is an option.
It's generally a pretty bad option at the moment. At the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, you can bomb jump down the whole left side. It's very slow. It costs a lot of hearts and bombs. And it's not even close to being in logic.
No,
and then your reward at the end of it is you still left 5 checks on the other side of GT.
Yeah.
So you have to come back anyway.
Which I guess they could go do Tile Room if they really wanted to, but also it's Tile Room. I think Specks is going back to the Village of Outcasts. I think this is going to be Blind's Hut for him, which is going to get him those flippers that we're... Because... or not. Blind's Hut is in the Hammer Hut in the Village of Outcasts, but
right.
Specks is going someplace else. Oh, Mimic Cave, that would make sense, yes.
And there's our glove for Telethar. Normal human Dark World access.
And Mimic Cave is our small key, our last pod small. Huh, okay, game.
Now we can go straight to Eastern anytime we want.
What?
Well, because we were talking about doing Eastern because it was so hard to get back to. Well, now it's easy to get back to. So if you get nostalgic or lonely, you can just go straight to Eastern. Boom.
I would finding our last pod small make it easy to get to Eastern. I guess yeah, her hair is big is in logic. Anyway, never mind.
Mush mush.
Okay, now Specks is gonna do the thing I was talking about and check the what we know to be blind set.
Well, that just happened. Oh, that's what this room looks like. Interesting.
Telethar side, you mean?
Yeah, we didn't have the lamp when we were here before.
Yep. Spike Cave makes sense as well for Specks. This is fully in logic with the cape and the bottles we've got. About 5 for Telethar. And TR2. Not that we can really do anything with it. We don't have a cane.
Yeah, it could potentially be helpful later, but definitely not what we wanted to find.
No.
Yeah, you saw him. He was using the torches as like a safety spot. If you stand behind a torch, the spikes don't hurt you. Which gives him time to.
It reminds me, Specks is probably about to find Hera here in a minute, and it's going to be our first runner to clear Hera, and first crystal is likely as well at this point.
Yeah, a little more convenient for Specks finding Hera after finding the big key.
Hookshot upstairs in Hera would make sense. At the rate we're going late bid, we don't have a lot of stuff to do, I want to say, at this point.
Why would you think it was the hookshot?
Chat suggested that, but hookshot would open a variety. It would open a number of things. Jet gave us a GT. Other loose ends. Also, just because game is funny on that front. Mirror would be nice too. Hookshot would get us independent mother, yes. That's a thing. Really, though, there is just not a lot left to do in the game right now.
There's still Hera Basement.
There is Hera Basement. And unfortunately, unless Specks finds a fire rod upstairs, we'll be seeing it. Although he's going to leave here, one way or the other, go to Zora area, and then find his lamp after doing here. Which is going to be kind of annoying. Oh, I don't think we haven't seen this yet for Hero Telethar. Shop.
Things are getting thin enough that maybe going back for Hera Basement immediately after finding that lamp isn't the worst thing in the world.
Honestly, no. Especially Specks while he's vaguely in the area.
Never mind, we found a mirror.
Stuff. Yeah, you don't go back for basement after that. Big key to GT. That opens a couple things. It's UGT smells, it's just a mini helmet chested.
This is the Crosskeys tournament, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so we're not allowed to mold our bounce.
Nope. Roller bouncing and hovering are both banned in this tournament.
Yeah, that's going to make doing something like climbing GT much more risky if you can't guarantee getting all the way through it.
I forgot this is a pendant. So that is now full pendant knowledge for Specks. And our first dungeon beat, even if it's a pendant, is in hour 6. Yeah, let's see. Mirror opens up assortment of entrances.
That small key on Race Game and the one on
Highway
Island.
And the one on Lake Island, yep.
There's not a lot of small keys that we're like super excited to find. Pretty much just Swamp. Swamp's the important one mostly, but even that's not really great to find either.
Oh, we need it.
Yeah, we just don't really need it right now.
No, because we still haven't found the dam.
But things like more pod keys are nice. You know, the Thieves Key is
We've got
nice.
all 6 pod smalls.
Well, the runners don't.
True.
Oh yeah, I'm just talking like you know, he finds this mirror and he knows, okay, well this immediately leads to 2 small keys. So like he's thinking like maybe one of those is pod.
And then there's another thing too, is we do need a second castle tower small, and that could be one of those.
Yeah, but again, it's something you don't need now.
Sure.
So when we're thinking about how are we going to route now that we have this mirror, I think he's probably going to prioritize more entrances rather than getting to those keys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, old man is here. Yes, mirror was upstairs on the compass chest thing. Specks is now going to go check. I don't think he came. Is gonna go find this. and discover that the old man save plan really isn't helpful today.
Climbing GT is totally illogic.
It is.
It's so mean, but it is.
We're gonna see Dark Cross. I mentioned that was in logic earlier for Telethar with our lamp
Right.
and Subaru's key. This is going to be the pod area for Specks. He hasn't checked this yet, we already saw it from Telethar. Nothing much of interest over there.
You can grab that key on Hylia Island too.
That's a good point, though. That is the bigger. That is going to be the thing we haven't seen yet on this route. And just a heart piece for Telethar.
Oh, and a full heal right before you death orb. So annoying.
Of course. Alright, what's this small key? Thief's Town!
Yeah, so it's a nice key. It's like, oh yeah, okay, that's fine. But it doesn't do anything, so we're not that happy.
Yep, because we still don't have a Thief's Town big key.
Yeah, Rando's all about what can you do for me right now?
Oh yeah, since I'm thinking about it, should have a bit of fun and switch up the game audio a little bit. We've been listening to the Paper Mario 10,000 Year Door MSU for Specs. Gonna switch it over to Sea of Stars with Telethar for a bit.
We haven't seen that other side of that connector that Specks just found.
Oh, yeah, true, right, honestly.
It's a Death Mountain Descent. Telethar found it, identified which one it was, and then ended up not going through it. And then Specks is here with the lamp, so it's now even in logic for him to go through it. But we have no idea where it's going to end up. Have we found all of our must connects?
We found Floating Island, Desert Right, TR Bridge, Bumper Ledge.
So
I think
we found them all.
So that one doesn't have to lead us anywhere useful. It would be nice though if it dumped us someplace like the Mire region.
Yeah, Mire area would be helpful.
Because we haven't gotten any access there. We don't have a flute and we don't have bits.
We also haven't seen top of Light Death Mountain, although with the mirror we have access to it now.
Yeah. Those would both be really nice connectors.
Specks backtracking. It looks like we might see that connector.
I think that's the only. It's that or catfish, yeah, because there's not much else there's for him to do walking out of here.
Well, they're both pretty low priority things to do, but this one's on the same screen he's already on, so I hope he does this one.
Yeah. Or I guess he could go check. I don't remember if he's done Pyramid Ledge yet. Ooh,
oh, Telethar.
Oh, so close yet so far. It's just a TR small there, but that's something on his mind for later.
Alright, so Specks is going back for the Death Mountain Descent connector. Have you played Sea of Stars?
Sorry, what?
Did you play Sea of Stars?
A little bit. I played the demo, but I haven't played the full game. Just too much.
I thought it was almost really good. It was just on the cusp of being really good.
Mm.
The music is fantastic though, for sure.
Some pretty
I'm a hater. No, I just it so clearly took all this inspiration from old school RPGs like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI, but it didn't quite hit the same note. It was good. I just don't think it was really good. So Hera Basement. This is definitely progression. Probably the boots. 100% chance.
Nope, just a heart container.
Or a heart container. Well, you didn't let me finish. I was going to say boots or a heart container.
I mean, I liked what I saw. I liked it well enough. I guess the Sea of Stars demo. I've just got too much other things to do. And I actually music, in my opinion, is mixed. But I have severe music sensitivity, so that's a me thing. I mean, some tracks are nice, some not.
It's absolutely worth a playthrough. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to hate on the game.
I mean, it's somewhere on my mile long list.
It was, you know what, it reminds me a lot of. It reminds me a lot of Link Between Worlds, right? Because as I'm sure everyone else is as well, Link to the Past is one of my favorite games of all time, and Link Between Worlds is very much a spiritual successor to this one. But this is the one that I play over and over again every day. As much as I like Link Between Worlds, this is the one I want to play. And that's how I kind of feel about Sea of Stars. Like, I can see where it came from, but I want to go back to that place when I'm done playing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a literal successor.
Specks in front of Escape now. We already saw this. There was absolutely nothing remotely interesting here.
Yeah, at this point we're just waiting for somebody to find something interesting behind the mirror, or to start climbing GT without a hookshot.
Basically, I think those are our main options. Yes,
like because it's Crosskeys, right? So there's always some item, some entrance in this really horrible place that nobody ever wants to go to. So when we're watching a race of Crosskeys, eventually, after taking completely different routes for the last hour and a half, they will eventually come to that same bottleneck. And it's just a mystery who's going to find it first.
Pretty much. I mean, this is kind of like a classic random mid-game situation in general.
Yeah,
where we've done most of the early game stuff. We've gotten a pretty good amount of items. Now we're just kind of down to
player A is doing everything player B did, and player B is doing everything player A did.
Pretty much. Good old. This is just classic rando. Not even ALttPR specific or Crosskey specific. This is just kind of your random mid-game. They're doing dungeons, they're clearing stuff, and there's really not a lot to be said. Still missing... We still need to find 2 entrances and a collection of keys, and mostly big keys and items for Go mode.
Alright, here we go. Something new from Telethar. We are mirroring over to the top of Death Mountain, where we find the big key to Thieves Town to go with the small key he hasn't gotten yet. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Where was that small key? Do you remember?
Lake Island.
Lake Island, okay. So
funny thing is, both Thieves
Town
keys on islands.
Where's Thieves Town
at? Light World Shopping Mall.
Okay, well that's good. He'll probably grab that key on the way then.
Yeah, that's fairly convenient for him. Yeah, both Thieves' keys locked. Mirror locked on opposite sides of the world.
Because that could potentially be like a big ordering thing for our race, where one player finds the big key, the other finds the small key. The small key doesn't do anything, so he has to find the big key before he can go. But the other player could just go, and then that Thieves Town big chest becomes this huge point of contention. But I think with the island being so close to the Thieves Town entrance, you would just grab that on the way, just in case.
I think so. So I'm just gonna go check the race game, get the race game key, and check the race game left entrance here, which is both new to us. And Hera entrance is dead. Also get a read on Ether tablet, although we don't have a second sword to pick it up. Just a map.
We could probably live without that one.
Given they both have full pendant info, yes. Ice Palace small. That was not really useful, and that's our second ice small. Okay, game. Yeah, nothing here. Here's our dam, finally.
And a fire rod to boot.
That opens up stuff.
Does it? Not much, right?
True. Well, it gives us Ice Palace and...
Oh, Ice, but yeah, that's true. Ice Palace is the big one. Although it's not, it's not a super happy fun time place to go because we don't have the big key, but it is a crystal and it could kill the boss out of logic.
Yeah. K45 entrance is finally Saha. And okay, Myers are green pendant confirmed now. Small key to Swamp, that's required. And big key to Meyer. Maybe not so required.
Okay, so the Swamp small key is significant because we did just find the dam on Telethar's side.
Yep. And I'd have to imagine Specks gets back over there at some point sooner or later.
And I know nobody wants to go left side swamp with no hookshot, but doesn't it sound better than climbing GT with no hookshot? No, it doesn't sound better. Behind GT is the Thieves Hideout, so just one item.
Yep.
Probably the boots.
Yeah, we are getting... Yeah, Cobra is getting down to GT climb versus
Oh my god.
Palace,
We finally checked Desert
Palace.
Ledge, and it's nothing.
Yeah, after Thieves Town we have Hookshotless Swamp, Hookshotless GT climb, and Ice Palace without a big key, I guess. Okay, save quit back to Sank for Specks. The floating island connector is right side desert. Both of the other entrances to desert are in CAC. And I think that might be where Specks is going. Yep.
I don't know how you remember all
Specks.
that.
Notes, Clay, is the answer.
Nerd. I would never deign myself to take notes when I'm not actually playing.
I'm a very analytical commentator.
I trust the runners.
I'm a very analytical commentator for logic and whatnot, and that really only works if I know where the stuff was. Also, my sense of direction is hot garbage, so I really need engines notes.
So once again, our runner is now just going back over each other's choices.
Yep.
So that everyone goes back to the same place to do the same things. No way you do Swamp before Thieves?
Yeah, I'd agree, because Thieves is full clearable.
I think it could depend on like the locations. Because it's not like Thieves is really quick to get to, right? You gotta swim all over there. Where is Swamp? Do we know?
Swamp is the fairy cave south of Eastern Palace, not White Flute 5, the other side of south of Eastern Palace. Like, coming from Link's house. Yeah, that cave. Yeah, first entrance to the eastern area. Yeah, that cave. Here's the dam for Specks. Long's Fire Rod. Oh yeah, sure we don't have a cane for Ice Palace.
Yeah, Ice is no fun.
Is kind of not the fastest place to get back to. Specks is going back to Dark Shopping Mall. I think this is Thieves Town for him, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for Specs to beeline Thieves Town because he has both keys already. So it's, from his point of view, full clearable crystal dungeon.
Me as well. I forgot that I was not considering the back of Old Man when I was thinking about which dungeon was fastest to get to, but this makes sense. Yeah, Telethar's probably heading that way after pickup of the Thieves Mall.
Yeah, so like this is what we're talking about, where Telethar is like, okay, it's time to do Thieves Town. Big chest be damned. But there's a small key on this island. I guess I'll pick it up on the way. Maybe it's for Thieves Town, and he's totally going to get rewarded.
Yep. Even if it's junk, it's one less thing to backtrack for later.
I mean, he was already going to Thieves, but now he's going to Thieves.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, this is a very tight race between our runners. They're very similar inventories, similar checks done as discussed. Well, divergent routes, but when you get kind of bottlenecked like this, it ends up being pretty close when you've got a good closely matched pair of runners like this.
Yeah, the big thing was like first the pearl in Telethar's favor, but then the glove in Specs' flavor.
Sure. And they got their mirrors at slightly different times too. There's Boots.
Cha-cha-cha.
That's a good chance our Boots give us our last dungeon that we're missing, because we still haven't seen the back of Desert. And Boots open up a couple of entrances around the place. I was just kind of thinking as we see Thieves Town here, where is the back of Desert? We're starting to run low on entrances in the game.
The Boots goes was 3 more, I think.
Bonk Rocks by Sank, Bonk Rocks by Link's House, Bonk Rocks by Bomb Shop, yeah. Has he already seen King's Tomb? Boots is also our access to Green Pendant Mire, wahoo.
Can't wait.
We do have the big key but no cane, and we only have one small key, so left side out of logic.
That's like a grand total of 4 or 5 checks.
I mean, it's 4 or 5 checks when there's not a ginormous collection of checks. Because we've got Hookshot-less Swamp Palace, we've got Big Key-less
I mean, Caneless Ice is better than Pendant Mire.
That should be a bit fatal. Yeah, there is a small key on the GT torch, now that it's so at this point, we really don't need another small key.
Yeah, we found all the smalls that really matter.
Other than the Castle Tower small, but you're not going to rush for that.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's so many items in GT, you're gonna go there. So that key will be picked up at some point.
Yeah. Hour 20, just a sub 127 first crystal pickup.
Speaking of GT, another thing that Boots do is it makes going down the hookshot side of GT out of logic way nicer.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, if it's convenient to do so, like if we just find ourselves near GT at some point, like that's fair play. It's a fair play to go in there and sequence break the hookshot. Maybe not your first choice, but somewhere.
Well, GT is not convenient. It's on top of Hyrule Castle, so that might
right, you're right. But I mean, like you could maybe we find the other Castle Tower key, and then we go kill Aga, and then we just mirror room the pyramid, that kind of thing.
Perhaps, yeah, that's the point. Oh yeah, we've got the back of Skull Woods entrance too with Player Rod. And can go read the pet if we felt like it. Boots also opened one check on Hookshot Cave.
The double firebar room only requires the boots. You don't need the hook shot for that one, but it's locked by like a bunch of keys. I don't think we have enough for that to
I
be in
think it's
logic.
4 key locked, so yeah, no.
It's something you would do if you were there, but you probably wouldn't go there to do it.
No. And chat confirming it is for Smoky. Thank you, Tyler. Bonk Rocks by Sank is our archery game. Don't need that. Our runner's approaching those Bonk Rocks from very different directions with very different routes. Specks bumper ledge connector for Telethar.
Oh, we're going to Meyer.
I did mention this earlier. It's time for Green Pendant Meyer. I honestly don't think this is a terrible play.
I don't think like he came to this part of the world thinking like, all right, I really want to do Meyer. He probably came here for the entrances. They were nothing, and Meyer's right next to him.
So might as well do it while you're here, yeah?
Yeah, because I mean, while I do think ice is better, it's not better if you're standing at the entrance of Meyer.
Yeah. I mean, Ice Palace is on the other end of the world right now, so...
Yeah, very difficult to get to.
Like, Spike Cave entrance really is not convenient.
Why is it called Juice Town? What is called Juice Town? I've never heard this.
I can't tell if you're being serious or sarcastic. I don't know myself.
I'm being serious. That's what they said in chat. They said it's called Juice Town.
Here's our last skull with small key, so, Moths and logic. Yeah, apparently it's just a meme according to chat.
Telethar goes to Meyer soon.
I mean, again, as you said, you're in the area.
Yeah.
And it is a good amount of checks that are pretty quick here. 6 quick checks if you felt like doing cutscene chest at 7.
I don't think we're gonna do cutscene chest.
It's out of logic and it's yeah. And yep, that's a safe quit.
Specks just said the top one. All right, so we have like we have a number of like little options, but the big options are hookless swamp, caneless big keyless ice, and start sequence breaking GT.
Yep, those are our main options.
So we can sit around and we can hope and dream that some of these little one-off checks might save us, but we're probably going to one of those things.
I agree with you.
Because we're checking entrances right now. What are we hoping to find? Like backup desert. I mean, and even if you find it, it's one check, right? It's probably not the answer.
And backup desert's unlikely to be it. Oh hey, here's the TR big chest.
We have to bomb jump to it. Yeah. Oh, we're not bomb jumping to it?
Apparently not.
Well, we don't have a big key. Key. We don't even have the big key.
Yeah, and Jay Cooper is correct. We're missing 2 big keys, hookshot, and the finding the back of Desert Palace, I believe, for Go mode.
Are we going to GT? Is this GT? It looks like GT. It might be
yes,
GT.
This is GT, I think. Yep.
I think he hasn't seen Pyramid Catfish. Specky.
He has not.
So he may not mirror over to GT, but he should probably mirror over to GT. I'm not saying he should climb. I'm just saying he should do a bunch of checks. But yeah, he should probably climb.
Yeah, I think while you're here, you're running pretty low on stuff.
I mean,
So
if I went into GT and sequence broke the hookshot and everything to, oh no, my magic. Telethar, what happened?
Ooh, Telethar. That's an ouch. We saw Catfish already. Yes, it was junk.
And it was a Meyer key, of course.
Funny game. That's our second Meyer key, which really doesn't do much. Right in a second. And there's the back of desert at the back of Skullwoods.
It's definitely an important one to find. It's just probably not going to be all that helpful. But it could be. But it won't be. But it could. It won't.
Two compasses, some arrows, and our second sword. We also needed a sword for go mode. I forgot.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's important. Hour 34-second sword. Funny game. Specks has not done Catfish. And Firebar Room, just a hurt container. Nice one cycle for Telethar.
Very nice. And unfortunately, no progression on our crystal boss, because that would be too easy. Silvers are nice, friendly. Not what we're looking for.
No, but Specks probably isn't too mad to see that. Just some money on the pad. Because I believe OP's runners can do Master Sword Silver less gaming, but you're far happier to have at least Silver's recovered. There's a big key to Ice Palace.
Now, big key to Ice Palace is a nice find. It probably won't matter, because it really only matters if there's something in the big chest. But it makes you feel a lot better about going to Ice in the first place.
True. Big key to Pod, on the other hand, is part of our go mode, which is very much.
Yeah, that's just harder part.
That also opens up. Oh, we don't need the entrance, especially anymore, probably. But that's also our second red crystal. Hookshot not on Helmus or behind the big red mountains. A Telethar checked pet, it's junk, Dane.
So Ice, I know, was the Spike Cave entrance. Where was Pod?
Pod is bottom of East.
Oh, right. Behind the Paradox connector.
Yeah.
Although now with the mirror, we can also go to Dark Tide Mountain.
Follow percent there. That's follow percent knowledge for us, and our last 3rd TR small of dubious use.
And we are not climbing.
Nope.
Probably for the best. Looks like Specs are going to continue on to the entrance here, plus Catfish.
This might be Ice Palace for Telethar on the other side, looking at where he's going.
I think you're right. If he doesn't climb now, you don't know when he would. Well, I mean, when you have a hook shot, I guess. I mean, we're maybe a little desperate for items, but we still have from his point of view, Ice and Left Side Swamp are a lot more valuable than climbing GT.
We still have Mini Molorm Cave outstanding, by the way. Never found that.
Right. Yeah, Ice Palace Big Chest is going to be an important location for sure. If it's nothing, and then nothing really changes, and if it's something, then Specks has a decided advantage no matter when he goes to ice, whenever he goes to ice, because like even if Telethar immediately finds the ice big key after this, he ain't coming back.
No.
You would climb GT without the hook shot before you come back for the ice big chest.
Yeah, the ice big chest is going to be hard isolated for Telethar if that's required.
But it's important to remember that the ice big chest is one item location, right? And the expected value of any single item location is 20 rupees. So it's probably nothing. But we're going to find out what it is pretty quick, because it looks like Specks is coming over here. I'm not sure what he's doing right this second, but this is where Ice Palace is.
I think he's going, but... I don't think he's checked these entrances yet. That might be it.
Oh, he doesn't even know Ice Palace is here?
Might not have, no, because he just checked the other entrance, which was dead.
No, because if he was checking the Darkwood entrance, wouldn't he have dropped down and checked Spy Cave on the way?
No, never. In all honesty, he is going to go beat Skull Woods, which we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fair play. No reason to put this off, really.
No.
Spec trying to hammer the bug, which is not easy when the bug doesn't want to be hammered.
The hammer hitbox is kind of fiddly. On the other side, I don't think Telethar's found a whole lot of anything in Ice Palace. Here's another Crystal Respects. And now this is
he must have known Ice was here, because there's no other reason to route it like that.
True, yeah, I think it might have just been a mistrack on which of these entrances was what. That's why he checked the
oh yeah, maybe.
One. I'll be honest, it's hard to keep track of who's gone where and done what after appointing Crosskeys.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying, though? Like if you didn't know what either of them was, then it would make sense to check this one first.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean.
Cold Stare being a bully.
I mean, let's name. It doesn't help that we've got hammer strats here since Telethar's still on Fighter Sword.
Yeah, and Telethar used the tried and true method of making sure that we damage them all evenly so that they all stay alive the longest period of time.
Nothing on Cold Stare though.
Yeah, that was a big goose egg for Telethar. There was nothing in Ice Palace.
No, there really wasn't. I mean, there's not a ton left to find, in all honesty. We've got most of the small keys, we've got most of the big keys, and we've got most of our major items, aside from, you know, Hookshot, Flute, and Cane.
Yeah, I would say that that's what we're looking for is Hookshot, Flute, and Cane.
We also actually still need a Castle Tower small key and that Eastern Big. You were saying earlier how the second Castle Tower key can be a ice rod in
Oh yeah.
Crosskeys, and it really feels like that might be our ice rod today. I mean, yes, Flute is just for convenience at this point. But...
Yeah, I mean, Flute combined with Mitts will likely be our only access to the Mire area.
Yep. Yeah, no, Dave, we have no Mire access, and I think we've exhausted our connectors pretty well.
We found all the dungeons, but there's probably still like single item entrances hanging around that we haven't seen.
I know, per my notes, we haven't seen Sick Kid and Mini Moldorm Cave. I don't write down every single item cave, but those are the ones those are the item caves I write down that we haven't seen.
All right, looks like we're gonna get our big chest check from Specks. Never mind. Why'd you bomb the other side then? Come on.
That was a goof with the bombs. Well, he bombed
I want to
hole,
know.
but he tried to bomb jump and missed the second bomb there.
Oh my gosh.
Or he might just want to be on 0 bombs also.
Well, naturally. All right, looks like we're getting our hookless swamp dive. Remember, this is what we talked about. Our runners have not many things left, and it came down to going to GT, swamp, and ice. And ice was nothing. GT had help, but not exactly what we're looking for. So swamp's kind of our best bet right now.
It kind of is, as there's another GT small, our third. Ooh. That puts our third TR small key in logic, which does absolutely nothing of particular interest in logic.
Okay,
excellent.
Now with our final bomb, we can get to the big chest, which is nothing. Okay. He got lucky with a drop, didn't he? Because I thought he was out of bombs.
Yeah, well, it works out.
Specs not on full magic here. We'll need to dupe a fire rod shot or drink a potion. There we go.
There's our big key to swamp in swamp.
Hey, that doesn't help.
It's one extra check, I guess. For some bombs. Great.
Alright, well, Swamp's value is now left to our 2 checks remaining on left side Swamp, which are really slow, really slow.
Yes, they are. Is Specks going? Oh, Specks is gonna go finish pod. I ended up staring at my nose to figure out where.
Yeah, putting that that trip to GT to use.
Yep. That's gonna be 2 checks here plus our red crystal, our second red crystal for whatever that's worth. I mean, it's really not a bad play for Specks here while he's in the area.
No, it's fine. It's probably not gonna help that much. Mitts on left side Swamp. Mitts don't open much, but they open some things. We can now do Smith Sequence, the Ice Palace entrance. Oh, we can leave King's Tomb after we save and go to Mountain Cave.
We can do that, yeah. I don't think we've seen the TR main entrance, so there's that.
Right. Do we even know what medallion it is?
Nope, nobody's checked. And it's not left side, and it's not the other chest of left side swamp.
Alright, so we're mirroring out. This looks like Smith's, right? I don't know, right? I thought we were in Village Outcast for some reason.
No, we are not.
This is the Ice Palace entrance.
Yep. And nope.
Okay, now it's Smith's. Alright, so we can, do you remember where the Smith actually was?
Northeast House of Cac. Or, not northeast, it's northeast, one of the northeastern entrances in Cac. So.
Okay, Kakariko, okay. Yeah, so that's...
So it'll be really easy to turn in.
Sometimes it's really awkward to turn in when you don't have a full...
Granny's house coin leap it. I'll take your word for that leap it because I don't know the name of every entrance in the game. I just
sounds like you're describing the East Snitch House.
No, I think it was the big house by Blind Side with 2 entrances.
Oh, so Elder House.
Yes, that.
Yeah, Elder House, right.
For the shortness, for the sake of my notes, I write it down as CAC Northeast because it's in the northeast part of CAC. And it's not there. Specks not checking the
he did not.
chest surprises me, I'll be honest.
Yeah, there were
you.
2 checks in the back that he hasn't done, right? The Harmless Hellway too.
I don't think he did that. No, I'm a little surprised he skipped those.
Yeah, they both went for the vanilla big key chest when they were there with fewer keys.
Yep. Jane says they think
he did
Harmless Hellway.
Maybe,
I don't remember, I'll be honest.
Why
I'm
would you skip
surprised
the
he
big
skipped Big
chest?
Key. I don't know. I mean, there's really not that much left to do, and you're never going back there.
Now, he could hover to these checks here, but then we'd have to disqualify him, so he won't do that.
Yeah, don't disqualify yourself, please. That is not recommended. I mean, Coper, all of our pot smells are in logic.
Well, I mean, I guess the Podvig's behind the hook shot, but we don't know where
True,
the hook
I forgot.
would be in our chain.
Okay,
It's just
so
you're right there, like you're there already is the thing.
Exactly, you're there and you're never going back. This is gonna be finishing Desert for Specks, so he's gonna be...
Smith sequence unfortunately led to nothing. So our mitts are not helpful.
No.
So GT is looking like a very nice place to go for Telethar. The basement's still out of logic, but it's still a lot of checks.
It is, and this is... where is he? He's going back to Floating Island. Where's... I'm trying to remember where he's going with this route. Oh, TR main entrance. Yeah, that would make sense. They did.
I hope it's Bombos, so that they get punished for not checking it. Quack. Another crystal done for Specks. And the front of TR is nothing.
Just a cack bomb hut. Not helpful game.
A star seed.
I am your race streamer,
Is
so
that
I rolled the seed.
is that a Korok seed in the emote?
Yes. I have rolled some interesting stuff in the past. Oh, it's absolutely a memeing code. What was south of east? This is yeah, Song for Specks.
Well, Telethar likely just going to sequence break the hook shot here, but he may climb after.
Man.
But I mean, like, doing this got the pod big, right? So maybe he won't want to do that.
Maybe. I mean, pod big doesn't open that much.
We'll be fine. It was pod big and what else?
Let's see. GT, Control F.
Oh,
pod
the
big,
iceberg.
last bottle.
Yeah, okay, so you
ice
sequence
big.
break the hook shot and you find the pod big and the ice big. Would you rather go do these hook shot lock checks or climb GT?
What's left that's actually in logic? Most of GT climb is what's in logic. Did anyone read Bambo's tablet? Actually, never
no.
mind. That's out of logic because their second sword is Dark Magician. Never mind.
No, I don't think Telethar read Bombo's tablet. Didn't he go to turn in the purple chest from the light world?
Chance wants to say Specs read it. At any rate, it's not in logic. At any rate, Specs said that it was a piece of hard magic. Thank you. We don't have a logical Master Sword anyway. I just remembered. So.
Yeah, we don't have a hook shot either. But look where we are.
True. I mean, the Master Sword is behind this bit of out of logicking. The silver.
Okay, all right. So let's just like create a situation, right? You climb GT, and in the mini Helma room, there's a sword, and then the hook shot's on Bombo's tablet.
No, chat did confirm Bombo's tablet's dead.
Yeah, but Telethar doesn't know that.
True. Yes. Chat does have a different point, though. We are a Meyer small way from the Meyer cutscene just being in logic.
Never heard of it.
Samarian climb for maximum misery? Yes, Layman, it's quite possible.
You need Samarian the climb, and then you need the hook shot on the right side, and then you need something else required on like the validation chest.
I mean,
or
it's entirely possible. They both skipped Meyer cutscene, yes, Cobra. Could be hookshot and green pendant, yes.
Given the situation they were in, they had to skip Meyer cutscene. To not skip Meyer cutscene was the more crazy thing to do.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have skipped Meyer cutscene, Tyler? At the time, I think they had like one small key.
They did, correct. And one small key, it was a pendant. They didn't even know it was a green pendant at the time.
Yeah, and then they were in Meyer. They were in Meyer because it was like nearby, even though like Ice Palace was available. So it wasn't even like the best place they could have been right then. But it looks like Telethar is climbing. It's time to climb.
I think Specs is either checking Hera Basement or the Ice Palace entrance. Maybe both.
You wouldn't skip because you never want to come back? Well, they couldn't kill the boss though, so they still might have to go back.
Yes. Specs has decided I think Hera Basement is dead to him, which it is admittedly dead, so that's fine. Does Specks have any advantage at the moment?
Specks' advantage
he's
right
being
now.
caught, I guess. Is not what he has done.
So Spec's advantage right now is that he's not climbing GT, but that turns into a disadvantage if there is something here.
And Ganon, for those who don't know, is in the lumberjack today. So our our second castle tower small key is on our list of things we need to find. We need the eastern big, the hookshot, and this castle tower small to beat the game.
Pyramid drop is the thieves hideout, so just a random item.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Specks no longer has an advantage.
No. The odds are good that Specks does run up to the castle for GT next, but that is unless he's still going to be a couple minutes behind. And as you see, that's safe for Specks, and some arrows here. Going back to Death Mountain.
For the pod big chest.
This is a fun spirit, if that is. I mean, I don't think there's anything else he wants to do up here, but that's a feels.
TR
or
entrance.
TR entrance, yeah.
Finding the hookshot answers a lot of questions for us. But now what? Right, we go do swamp. Sure. Then what?
Yeah, then what?
Like we still need to find stuff. We're still missing things. Things need to appear soon. The hookshot's a great start.
Yeah, because hookshot unlocks the back of swamp and 3 checks in hookshot cave, and that's about it.
One of those does something. I hope so.
I mean, there's not much left. And this is hair basement for Specks.
Telethar already did hair basement.
Yeah, Yeah, I think that's what Link was referring to. And unfortunately for Specks, this is also a check Telethar's already done. There's a last shield and Arcane.
There's Arcane.
That's not what we wanted to see, game. It does open up stuff, but... And there's our last GT smoke, also not quite the thing we wanted.
So all we're looking for now is Eastern Big and Castle Tower 2, right?
Eastern Big, Castle Tower 2, correct.
And we have the rest of Swamp, the
GT
rest of
right
Pod.
Side.
Yeah, GT right side. And
The rest of
some
Pod
Turtle
is
Rock
just
checks.
a big chest left, and yeah, TR.
And Hookshot Cave.
Yep. Also, Vicky's a thing. This is GT now for Specks.
Yeah.
Just temper them, Argus. That
There's always a sword in Swamp. Three checks in the front of Turtle Rock here. Lock behind the cane you just found.
There's butter.
All the swords.
Classic. We're looking for a Eastern Big Key and this small key to Castle Tower.
And neither of them in the front of TR. Must go somewhere else to look.
Yep.
Telethar's obvious place to go next is Hookshot Cave and Pod. I think Hookshot Cave is right here.
It is. Nice one cycle on Landrow 2 for Specks.
No help in Hookshot Cave. Right side of GT is also available, yeah. It's just not quite as efficient as Hookshot Cave.
Yeah. Oh, Green Pendant's available too. Ped's available, but we know that's dead. Telethar's gonna go beat Pod, I think, here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here's Hookshot coming for Specks.
The path forward is pretty well staked out for Telethar.
It is. There's just not that much left in the game to check for these couple missing keys. Shoutouts to our runners having 18 hearts apiece. Like, because of how there's so many heart pieces in the game. The number of hearts you have is a decent indicator of how much of the game you've done. And if you've gotten to 18, you've done most of the game. Oh, and it gets a big key to TRs. Like, if that's a big key to Eastern, that could really suck for Specks, but that could still really suck for Specks. Specks skipped that big chest. And there's so little left in the game, there's a non-zero chance one of his missing keys is behind that TR big.
The TR big only gives us access to 2 new checks. But it does make a third one more convenient as well.
I mean, there's also just not much left in the game. Going 2 checks is not insignificant given how much there's left.
I don't know why he skipped it the first time.
Me neither.
Or Specky, I mean, yeah. It's like, why'd you skip that?
And yeah, Specks skipped Akka too. I think I'm gonna keep it accounts. Are you not looking at other things? Got pinged. Yeah, that could be either if that TR big is nothing, that's great for Specks, and if that's required, Specks is completely done for.
Oh, did he not kill Aga too?
I'm scared of Branding at this point. This chat's being confusing themselves a bit. I want to say the Specks didn't do Aga 2, but
that's a huge gamble.
Yeah.
I mean, like the hookshot gives you access to the rest of the swamp, and hookshot game's great, but like you ain't climbing again, right?
PH saying in chat Specks skipped Akka 2. He likes skipping that one as one item.
I guess it's not in logic yet.
Yeah, being the keyword. I wonder at what point do you go entrance hunting for this mini Moldorm cave nobody's seen? Just for the sheer density.
I wouldn't bother unless you found the flute, right?
True, because it's probably flute locked.
Are there any entrances we haven't seen that we could see right now?
No, good point.
Oh yeah, Pyramid Fairy, I guess.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy.
I don't remember where the bomb shop was. Sometimes the bomb shop requires the flute to get to the
bottom of East Death,
okay, so
of West
it's
Death
on the
Mountain,
main,
so yes.
Main world. Alright, 5 more checks to find in Ganon's Tower with Arcane. You just do Tower him, right? Like, why would you even skip it? Just do it right away.
I mean, Myra's kind of in the middle of nowhere a little bit. It's a dark sank. Laybit's gonna go do Hookshot Cave here. Go right, no, also TR main, I guess. I forgot that was right next to Hookshot Cave. There's red mail.
We need more things.
Here's Bombos. And our last TR small.
Hey, Trinex isn't logic. Fine.
Great! One more check. What's on with here, big chests?
So this next check, the Crystal Roller Room, this is accessible by backtracking from Laser Bridge. You don't need the big key, so Specks could still get to this one.
Yeah, Laser Bridge on the other hand. Oh, it's not too bad.
And it's nothing anyway.
We have no access to the Mire area. We're kind of locked at this point. You must hear me out. I don't think we ever saw the other side of that Death Mountain Descent cave that's in the pod area.
No, we did. Yeah,
There's a pause
Specks went through that one.
Oh, you did see that.
I don't remember where it led, but we did see it.
Oh, the nefarious. Was that what it was?
Where's the Laser Bridge entrance?
Laser Bridge, I have apparently written it down as by CAC, which I know is incredibly unhelpful, which is not my greatest notes of all time. By desert makes more sense.
Oh! Yeah, it's the fairy cave right there.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, because I remember
You didn't see that?
No?
There was just a little glitch where Telethar was like scooching up during the animation.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so this will definitively tell us if Specks needs that big key from the pod big chest he skipped.
Well,
Even though-
now up to 19 hearts.
Even if this is nothing, though, it's not looking good for Specks, because Telethar is probably going to go to Mire soon anyway.
Yeah, there's just less. Telthar's just done more checks at this point than Specks. And there's our big key to Eastern.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that has to be the
that's
Eastern bit.
that's unfortunately gonna hurt Specks pretty bad. Like, we're still not in go mode. We still need that castle tower key.
I would say that's pretty tough to come back from because the pod big chest is just.
Yeah, the problem is, like, even if Telethar hard last locates the castle tower key at this point, like, Specks is too far behind. Like, he needs to skip something to catch up.
And there's nothing to skip.
Yeah.
And one of these last two chests, one of these last two checks in Eastern could very well be that small key we don't have.
Yeah,
and
certainly
yes,
possible.
late mid, we have a lot of health between our runners, 19 each. The collection rate is gonna be, ridiculous. Hope there's nothing that...
Mini Moldorm Cave in the GT entrance locking the last castle tower key.
that
That
would
is
be
actually that's like one of the more likely things to happen at this point.
Honestly, yes. There's only like a half dozen entrances left in the game, and yeah, GT is one of them. Yes, this is a very long seed for these players. It doesn't usually take them 2.5 hours to beat a Crosskeys. Nice half magic. I guess I could open a really speedy bet. It's just so little left in the game.
Well, we're getting to see Mire from Specky here. Simultaneously as Telethar gets his final crystal from Armos.
And that's a map to Ganondorf Castle.
So we have to continue searching to find this castle tower key.
Yep.
I hope we got a GT entrance. I think it probably is the GT entrance.
I mean, there's really not much options. I mean, this Pyramid Fairy entrance, GT entrance, Flute is presumably in like one of these couple of places that's left to go get to the Mire area. There's seriously not much. And this is the G. This is going to be up to Death Mountain. So yeah, this is GT for Telethar. GT entrance, that is. Was any of any particular productiveness?
The TR big key is in the pod big chest. For reasons unknown, Specks, when he went to kill Helmasaur, just didn't do the big chest. The only check that he left behind.
Yeah, I wonder if he just forgot about it by accident.
Maybe. Looks like it was not on Vitreous, so green pendant maybe.
Yeah, Saha is in K45.
Oh, we skipped the cutscene too?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, it's not the GT entrance.
This is back to the Ice Palace big chest for Telethar.
I hope we get the third Mire key from this. From Saha. That would be so funny. Oh, just a flute. Why are you saving me?
Just a flute.
Oh, right, because we have a
left.
Kakariko. Alright, so this gets us a bunch of entrances, one of which is probably Mini Moldarm Cave, which probably has what we're looking for.
Yeah, maybe it's just seriously nothing left.
It's good for Specs? Not really.
Yeah.
Because he's just gonna last locate the big chest and pod.
Yeah, that's just what it is. Like, Flute makes getting back to pod easier, I guess, because it's the bottom of East Death Mountain, but yeah. And there's 5 entrances here we haven't seen. And there's Mini Moldarm Cave, I'm not surprised.
No, no, no. No. Oh, it was so close. We had 4 red 20s.
No.
How is that not the answer? Oh my gosh, what other entrances? I guess we're missing, what, like Sick Kid or something?
So I think Sick Kid is one of our only item things left.
We got just
Cutscene
2 more entrances.
Hey JD, yes, this is still going on. We have 19 hearts apiece, and we're still missing that Castle Tower small key. It's not a Dark Agena entrance. We know we've already seen the checkerboard cave by way of a connector, and it's not that either.
Oh, this is where all the shops were. It's Boffos.
Oh, funny game, funny. Yeah, this is an unusually long scene for these runners, JD. This has just been a miserable hunt for the go mode. There. And our Mire main entrance is the top side of Spiral Cave. Yay! I forgot we hadn't seen the top side of this.
Save me, Spiral Cave!
And
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. It's the cutscene chest and logic. Oh my god. Oh my god.
There it is.
Why did you skip it, Specky? Come on.
I mean, we could
It
ask
doesn't
him
matter.
about that,
Like,
about the
it
pod
doesn't
big
matter.
chest too. It doesn't.
It wouldn't have mattered. Even if he had done it on the first trip, it would not have mattered. Because now Telethar is not killing Vitreous. Telethar is not getting the flute. Telethar is not going to the Mire area.
Yep. Alright, what is the winning bet here? Well, that was logically flute locked, so Romer wins the premium bet. Because you were supposed to get the flute to go to the Mire area to get your last Mire small key to go over there. And the regular bet winner, I'm gonna give it to Inko for the last. Because no one actually wins the regular bets. That is good mode for Telethar here, and we'll finally be done. Yeah, right around. This is gonna be a 2.5, right around.
Yeah, nothing left to do. Just kill Aga and then kill Ganon.
Yeah.
He'll have to walk to the lumberjack tree though. He can't flute there, like some kind of pedestrian.
I mean, safe puts it so well.
I don't know. It might just be faster to mirror at the pyramid screen and just go up through the woods.
It might be, yes. Yes, we could escape Kingswood, but I don't know that's faster. Alright, Castle Tower, small acquired for Specks. Unfortunately, that pod big chest is gonna be a last location.
Oh yeah, we can guess blue balls. I guess it's too late now, but I always forget to do that. Well, 1.
That's another.
He's dead, Jim.
By the way, I believe we legitimately saw every major item and every single key in the game. Which doesn't surprise me, given that they also have 19 hearts each.
Oh, look, he is going through the woods.
Yep, looks like it. Does not mirror on there.
I don't know if it's actually faster. Saving and quitting isn't super fast though. So like if you can get somewhere without doing that, it's usually better. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ganon doesn't really stand a chance when we find all the things.
I mean, we literally have every item and every key in the game between our runners. I think we did every item check too.
I guess we never actually picked it up, but the blue cane is out there somewhere on the library.
It's on the library, which we did see, yes.
Delivery. I think it was the eastern entrance, somewhere really terrible.
The library was in the eastern entrance, yep. But yeah, we've literally seen the entire game. I think we might have actually seen all 216 checks.
No, we didn't see Sick Kid, right?
Okay, we didn't see Sick Kid. That's true. That is like the one check in the game.
I guess Sick Kid's at the Pyramid Ferry.
I think so. I think we've seen the rest.
GG. Telethar takes the win with a time of 2:28.48.
And that is a very understandable I quit from Specks. GG's to both of our runners. We'll see if they want to interview. So Telethar is going to join us for an interview. I'm waiting to see if Specks will as well. We're going to be joined here by Telethar. GG.
Yeah, GG.
I can't remember what you did that I thought was really weird. I'm thinking. You both did some things that I thought were really weird. I'm trying to remember which one was which.
Okay.
Things like skipping Meyer cutscene shows?
Oh no, it was Specky who did the weird thing in Paradox Cave where he took the bottom exit instead of the top exit. Telethar took the top exit, he just died.
Yeah, that would have been real nice. Taking the bottom exit and getting a glove and not last locating my glove, my mirror, my hook shot.
That was the big story early on. Was
can you turn yourself up a bit, Telethar? You're kind of quiet before.
The big story early on was that you guys miraculously found yourselves in the desert area at the exact same time, coming from different connectors, and walked into that Aeginus Cave entrance simultaneously after doing completely different things for the last 10 minutes. And then you stayed and he didn't. So you got the pearl like so much sooner. But then the story continued because in Paradox Cave, you died to the mini Moldorm and he didn't. And got the glove a lot sooner.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't feel great about this seed.
Hard. Oh, we got Specks in the waiting room.
I think I last located everything.
Hey, Specks. GG.
GG's. GG's Telethar.
GG Specks. That seed was vile.
That seed was terrible. Yeah, I feel good about how I played, but that seed was awful. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, you didn't last locate the glove and the boot and the mirror. And
the weird thing that Specks did was in Paradox Cave, he didn't even try to go out the top exit.
I usually do that. I do that as a slight time saver with someone else. It's because it kind of adds up with all the screen traditions. And normally I'm like, I'm going to come back to this area later. I can route it in later. But it basically gets a way to shave off time for someone else. And obviously it's a risk. But it's what I usually go for.
Well, it's really awkward from us because when Telethar was in a Paradox Cave, he did try to go out the top exit, but he got murdered by the mini
Yep.
Moldorbs. So then when you were there after him, you went out the bottom exit, and we're just sitting there going like, well, what's out the top? We don't know.
Yeah, I didn't get my glove until like well over an hour, I think.
The
Something
first
like
glove?
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
And
that
then
glove a lot sooner than that. Yeah.
And then I got my boots, I think, like an hour and a half.
I got them at 24, so not much sooner.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then,
you guys were in Thieves Town, like pretty near each other.
Okay, yeah. And then what was it? The hook shot I last located after getting my mitts and then being like, well, time to do Smith Chain. That seems like a good thing to do.
You
I did
ended
the
up
same thing.
climbing first because
Yeah.
Specks found himself in GT and did the whole basement and got like the ice big and the pod big before having gone to ice at all. So he ended up not climbing. But when you went there, those things were like, okay, that's like 3 out of logic checks these good keys lead to. So it's a completely different situation.
Yeah, no, I had nothing in logic except for to climb. So I was like, I guess I'm going up.
Yeah, I figured for a while the seed was gonna make us do the hookless climb. This is a seed where like I wish hovering was allowed because I would have just done it if I could make sure I could at least do Moldrum 2. And that's why I'm like, Logic's probably pushing us there for some key progression, but I don't know that for sure yet, so I didn't want to invest time, especially when the left side out of Logic gave me a couple good big keys, and it made sense to go elsewhere, and, it felt like a risk to GT climb, felt like a risk to not do it. And yeah, I went to Swamp, I got the mitts, and yeah, basically also located GT climb minus pod big chest.
So. Right. I logically last located it. I didn't follow those big keys, obviously.
Why did you skip the pod big chest?
When I went there, it was so I had done left side GT out of logic, and so I know my pod big, which was in random room, was locked logically behind the hook shot, and all I needed for go mode basically was hook shot CT small eastern big, and I'm like I've been full clearing overall pretty efficiently, but I am playing Telethar. Even slight inefficiencies added up throughout the seed, make a big difference when I'm playing Telethar. So I'm like, I have not skipped a single thing. Here's a chance to skip something that's out of logic that most likely I won't get punished for. That I expect to have more things logically available later, and I should be able to, statistically get away with this skip. So that and Cutscene Chest and Aga 2 were the 3 things I skipped throughout the seed. Aga 2, I think, is totally justified because it's insanely slow. Pod Big, just because I knew it was behind hookshot and it felt like a smart skip to save time. Didn't work out the seed, but I still think it was a good play.
No, I agree it was a good play. And in hindsight, watching both of you, it would not have helped if you had done that chest and gotten the TR big, and like you would have finished the seed closer to Telethar, but he was still ahead. And the things you guys had to do left didn't leave you any room to save time.
Okay.
So like that was the goal right there. Like we were thinking like, okay, well, if Telethar gets this big key and then he wastes time in Turtle Rock, then that's Spec's chance to come back. But it was just required, as was Meyer, as was everything else. You just had to do all the things.
So yeah, I would say this is like obviously maybe some small efficiencies and execution throughout the seed, but some of the biggest things would be that Telethar followed logic a little bit more when it came to GT and waited to do it a bit longer, so climb made sense more so. Climb made sense for me, but
yeah, no, I mean
the way you routed it put you in that scenario. And then also when you went into Meyer, whenever one of your dips into it, you did Cutscene Chest before Vidi. So
yeah, I was at the very end.
That was Vidi was my last logical location. I'm like, I'm just gonna do cutscene. I'm not gonna get my flute to go do Meyer area to do 12 entrances to get a Meyer small to come back here. I refuse.
That's what the logic was. But for me, I needed CT small and Eastern big. So I'm like, I need 2 things. So I'm just gonna go for logic and density at this point. But your situation completely makes sense.
Chad thinks you guys should have done Cutscene Chest on the first trip to Meyer, but I'm on your side. I didn't think it made sense to do it right then when you're on like one key and you hadn't been to Ice Palace.
I had so much that wasn't in like there was so much that would become in logic with like the items that I knew were coming. I'm just like, I'm gonna have Meyer area, I'm gonna have Mini Moldorm Cave, I'm gonna have all of Ice, Skull Woods, all of GT. I'm not gonna go do cutscene chest 2 keys out of logic. No. I also knew I had to come back anyway, if I or had a check to come back to anyway.
Yeah, that
Chat just
makes
thinks
sense.
yeah, chat just thinks we shouldn't have skipped the things that have progression and should skip the things that don't have progression. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I skipped 3 things the whole game after full clearing for an hour and a half or something. I skipped Pod Big, Agatu, which that one worked out, and the CT small and cutscene chests, and they didn't work out the seed, but they felt very justified in the moment.
You
And
skipped
kind
3
of,
things and 2 of them have progression.
yeah. And I also delayed GT climb, but it was a rough choice at the time. I had the choice, I had to do it or not do it first time. So, but I forget about how I play. And Telethar Telethar's a really strong player. To I can play my absolute best, and can never guarantee you win over Telethar. I'm pretty happy with how I played. A couple small efficiencies that could have maybe done here or there in my routing, but I think I played pretty well execution and randomized overall. Telethar made some different decisions. I think maybe delaying GT might have been a bit smarter to play with how it kind of awkwardly routed and the way the seat kind of was pouring GT climb. So delaying it actually made some sense in the seat. So, maybe that was a routing error on my end in hindsight. But other than that, I feel like I did pretty well. So I'm not gonna feel bad going 3-1, and Telethar, best of luck going forward in this tournament.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, man, I agree. Like, I think your decisions aren't bad from what I'm hearing about them. Like, it's not like, oh, that was, that just didn't make it. Like, it's like the seat put you in places. You had the glove earlier, which kind of changed everything, I bet, in terms of like when it made sense to go to places, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah, it was a very different early game routing with you having the Moon Pearl and he having the glove. Like everything
For
was
sure.
just all backwards.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about that, Specs, because when you came out the first connector into the desert area and you saw Fairy Ascension Cave, you didn't go through it, right? And
Yep.
you instead continued on and you found like Laser Bridge, and that's fine. When you came out the second time, I was very surprised they didn't climb it then.
Yeah, I know the meta is I should have cleaned up that fairy drop in at that moment. I knew that was the meta, but for me, one of the potential areas of time save, and again, taking a risk is kind of with Paradox Cave, is when I don't have Mirror, I don't have Moon Pearl, and I still have a decent number of entrances that are unknown. I prefer to be aggressive on my connectors and I tend to leave a little bit more loose, a few more that are a bit loose than other people will. And just to hope I can single dip that, where I get the info, since I can actually do it with Mirror or Pearl. So it was a risk. And I figured since it was, I could take that Granny character from Cackwell, from a CAC area, from a safe get to Sank, and then put me right back to desert area. I'm like, it's only a little bit slower to go back, and I potentially save, just an info dip that I can't actually do anything in. It ended up not being true, but I think the other spots in the seed that did work out for me. This is not one it didn't, but the pull didn't come too late for me, and it made me get that glove earlier. So I think that probably more or less evened things out, or maybe the opposite. Maybe
it felt a little evened out once you guys both had both of them.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm very hungry. Thank you for the comms. GG Specs. Good luck next week.
Thanks.
Thank you for the tracking, the restream as well, obviously.
Always a pleasure. GG's, and good luck in the future rounds of Swiss.
Thank you. Thanks for the comments and restream and checking. Appreciate it.
Any last thoughts from you, Koi, as I take us out here?
Crosskeys is mean.
You're not wrong, Koi. You're not wrong. So please do give both of our runners a follow. Telethar and Specks. It's a great race here between both the runners. So thank you for letting us restream you two. Thank you to Koi for joining me on comms. It was a pleasure. And to Late Bit for doing the tracking. It's easy to do Crosskeys here. Coming up ahead on the CSR schedule, we have a pretty busy weekend. We do one more race tonight that will be here on this channel if we find a restreamer in about 45 minutes. We'll have the first qualifier for the Breath of the Wild Master Sword Restricted Tournament 2024. And then over the weekend, we've got a whole lot of stuff. We have more qualifiers for the Breath of the Wild MSR tourney. We've got Twilight Princess 90% tournament matches. We've got more Crosskeys matches as well. Well, the next one currently on the schedule is going to be we've got 2 on Sunday at 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. T-Stu versus Scottish Brave and Allison versus Koi here. Good luck on that, Koi.
Oh yeah. So if I win, then I might be facing Telethar, and if I lose, I might be facing Specks. That's
correct.
This is a lose-lose situation for me.
But keep an eye out on that. We might also put something on tomorrow, pending things, and then keep an eye out on the schedule for more matches coming up. And we still have some matches left in the Link to the Past Randomizer Survivors of Hyrule tournament as well. But for now, that is going to be it here for us. We're going to raid over to Rosalindus, who's another person playing in the Crosskeys tournament. She's currently doing some practice for her next race tomorrow, where she'll be racing Andy. So let's go see how that's going for her. She's about an hour and 40 minutes in. So let's see how that's going. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you another time.
Bye bye.